Hi guys, and welcome to another Full Nova Zero edition of the Indie Spotlight. It's been a little while since we've done this, but I figured it was time to get back into it. What I'm playing right now is a little game called Snapshot. This is sort of one of those, I hesitate to say it, but it's sort of one of those one-trick kind of games that uses that one gameplay trick to pretty incredible uses. So really the main part of the game is to take pictures of things, objects, and then place them elsewhere by basically putting that picture right there. So what we do is we take a picture of, say, this block right here. It's usually blocks from my experience so far. And then we place it into where it needs to go. Now there is sort of these little gameplay mechanics. Namely, it's impossible to take pictures in these little like red areas. For instance, this is a gameplay mechanic that was introduced about midway through the game, and that means that we won't be able to pick that same box back up. And so it's not going to work in that case. But what we'll do, oh. This is a new mechanic right here. I don't think I'm too familiar with it. But I like that, you know, it's a very simple mechanic. There's not too much to grasp at the beginning, but there's a lot that you can do with this. Okay, so I can... What was I supposed to do? So hold down this, and then rotate it. So let's take a picture of this. Rotate it around. Here we go. Now let's move that back up here. Oh, man! That was kind of gruesome looking, actually. So as easy as the initial premise of the game seems at first, there's actually quite a bit going on in the background, which I always like. I got a soft spot for games that they figure out a simple game mechanic and then they kind of move, they do something with it. And I can't say that for every indie game, because sometimes there is sort of this one trick pony aspect to a lot of games, and that always kind of disappoints me. I think I might be able to grab onto this. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Is there another area up here? Oh yeah, collected a special gallery item, nice. Oh, and of course, end my life right there. One game that I felt like did not quite have that sort of specialness to it, in like figuring out its existence, like its own very existence, was definitely earlier game this year by the name of Fez, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that one. Very long, storied history, and I really enjoyed the game, at least to a certain extent, but there was a point when I realized that Fez wasn't really doing anything with itself. It wasn't really becoming like more than its initial concept. Like, there's a point when I realized with a lot of these games where it's like, well, you know, I like what you did with the game initially here, but you know, like what's next? What else are you gonna do with it? And like Fez really didn't really do much with it. There was like the rotating of the world and all that, and I liked all that sort of thing. But then there was only like one I remember where you couldn't rotate the world unless you did something specific. I seem to remember that being a very limiting factor of the game. Like, you know, eventually it's like, well, I get the fact that I can rotate the world, but basically everything, all the other puzzles don't really have anything to do with this mechanic, so what we end up getting because of that is something that's a little bit, it just feels like that one-trick pony after a while. Alright, is there more of these things, or what? I suppose I can go under. Oh, I can't quite grab that right now. I think we might have to restart this level. It seems like a bit of an oversight on that part. I don't like when levels they don't give you a better way to explore, and it's a kind of a sign of it's a bad. I almost hate to say this, but it's a sign of little forethought when there's not a way to restart a level. That's a little bit mean, I think, but especially if we're talking about an indie developer. But ultimately, it's very true in that. Oh, I'm gonna have to redo that. Oh, I don't think we can get back up there. Not really sure how we're supposed to do this now. Oh, we might be able to reach that. I don't know if I've gotten this right at all. Let's move back here. Well, level design really needs there usually needs to be a lot of thought that goes into like every aspect of how people play it, and that, you know, unfortunately that can be kind of difficult at times. I think I know what I'm doing now. Aha. So it always feels like this looks like a special object. So I'm sure for developers of indie games, there's probably a lot to... I can hold up to 3 things, by the way, which is kind of nice. There's probably a lot of pressure that goes on when you're trying to make a game that feels very professional, but at the same time, you know, you're kind of a small team, like, you know, especially in the case of, like, Fez, especially this game, actually, I think, which is only 1 or 2 guys, and, it's just hard to, it's really hard to maintain the amount of things that you need to do to check on all the quality of the game. Alright, now what? This is what I like, is when there's a legitimate problem going on and it's like, I don't know what to do, and then there's usually that aha moment that happens because of it. So I can't do it... Oh, I think I might know a way. Let's put it down sideways. Aha! There it is. Those little aha moments are perfect for puzzle games. Always makes me feel good. Every single time. This game actually encourages you very heavily to try and beat the scores of other people on the leaderboards, and that's never, personally, that's never really appealed to me as a gamer. It depends on the game, I guess. Maybe I should preface that, because I've played a lot of Trials Evolution and, well, I guess Trials HD, which had an excellent leaderboard system, one that made me want to keep replaying a lot, but it also had the ghost system, and I think it has a lot to do with it, to be honest. So having a good leaderboard system, I think, is kind of hard to pull off. Like, you'll always have a core audience of people who are really going to care about that, but there's always like considerations for people cheating, which I always think is really easy to do in these games. And what am I doing here? What is going on? Something I'm missing. Let's try restarting this. I don't feel like I missed much, though. So this arrow is pointing up, almost as if I was supposed to get something up here, but I don't see anything. And if I get too close to that thing, it doesn't work. There's almost definitely a second pillar that I need to get. The real problem I have is when I get into here, as far as I know, I can't just get over this. I can't get over this ledge at all. I'm pretty sure that's intentional. So there's something about this that's making me think that there's got to be that aha moment happening, and I don't think it's right here. Oh, it is right there. Okay, so I just needed to grab onto the lip. And we might or might not be able to get through this area. I've been trying to figure out if this game actually has a dynamic music system. I don't actually know if it does, but if it did, I'd be very impressed. Because it always seems like when I'm getting a little bit further, that's when the music boosts up. It's been a few games that have done that really well, and I always think that's neat. Audio cues that you're actually beating the game are kind of neat. This is getting a little tedious right here. I feel like there almost has to be something over on this side, or else they wouldn't have done this. Oh yeah, there's something over there for sure. But how to get over there? Let's see if this will work. There we go. Sometimes I feel like a smart guy. Sometimes it's pretty rare. Oh, there we go. Is that something I can grab? Aha! Very nice. And it feels like it might be a special item of some kind too. I'm being very careful now because as soon as I lose progress, it's end of game for me. So I don't really want to lose progress right now. Alright, now what am I supposed to do? How do I get up here? I might be able to jump onto the other side, but I don't think so. Wait. Okay, this might be the ticket. No! That was not the ticket at all. Now I won't be able to get back up. Whoa! Okay, that seemed like it was about to crush me. I need to get back up there somehow. It's really not that far off. That thing doesn't land on doesn't land quite the same way. Might be able to cheat the system a little bit here. Maybe not. Problem is I need to be able to get up there somehow. That's not happening right now. Shoot. And now that restart level button actually makes sense. You could probably run through this a little faster now that I'm more familiar with it though. Wait, that wasn't what I needed to do. This is what I needed to do. That thing. And get that thing as well. And let's slowly but surely get back up here. But this is a mark of a good puzzle game, is one that takes a little bit of thought and practice, replays. Those are all good marks of puzzle games in my opinion. I think a lot of people would wonder if, you know, like where does Portal fit in on the whole puzzle game factor? Because when we think puzzle games these days, we usually tend to think of Portal, and you know, I guess I'm not sure anymore. It doesn't really register a lot of puzzle qualities to it. I feel like it is sort of an evolved puzzle game, but it's not a very challenging one. And so it's kind of a hard, kind of harder sell sometimes, as far as, like, you know, thinking of a puzzle game in the context that we're used to it. Context I'm most used to a puzzle game is probably with Myst, and I know I've referenced that game a lot. That's because it tends to be the best example. Alright, so I'm clearly not getting across there. Oops. Now I'm glad I do have a picture of that one, though. Should be able to make some use of that. Just had an epiphany here. That might do it. That's a bit of a glitch. Because we probably need to do this first. This is the complicated way, I can tell. This isn't the way that you go on a simple version of the game. Or version of this particular puzzle. Oh no! No! That is no fun. I'm not going to bore you guys with another playthrough of that one. Because I think you can clearly see how to beat it. I wasn't too aware of these special objects, by the way. You can clearly see from my previous playthroughs on the earlier levels that I did not really take these into consideration at all. I should mention too that this isn't just a PC game, even though I'm playing it on the PC right now. It also exists. Oh, well, that was silly. It also exists on the PS Vita, and so if you're looking for a good Vita game, I think this is probably one that takes up that answer there. Now something's telling me that I should probably look for special objects around here. I haven't found any yet, though. No, I don't see any. So this might be a little bit of a harder thing to do. Oh, I found it. I guess they're just hidden. This video is not intended to be a guide to how to beat these, by the way. Just really trying to just give you guys a good feel of the game. Looking for a good, you know, riding in the car kind of game, sitting on the subway, that sort of thing. I think this is probably going to be a good PS Vita game for that type of category. Gotta be on the lookout for stuff. So here it is right there. Another one of those hidden objects. You can get through the levels really fast. Like I mentioned earlier, it's good for leaderboard stuff. You also get more unlocks in the game, though. There's always like a baseline time to beat. In this case, it was 19 seconds, and then there's even an 8-second one that obviously you'd be trying to rush through really fast. There's a special object on there. I didn't do that right. So put that on the first picture. then we should be able to get through. Ah. Oh. Let me place that a little closer. This has a very Super Meat Boy-ish vibe to it that you have to make it through on a one playthrough at a time. I have to open question, by the way, that I'm not asking anybody because I'm not talking to anyone right now, but I haven't really gotten a sense of how well the PS Vita is doing right now. I was kind of hoping that it might take off in some way, shape, or form, especially since Janessa seemed like she was pretty excited about it, but ultimately I wasn't really sure about it, and I've seen one in action and it looked pretty awesome, but it was hard to get a sense of, like, should I get this, and a lot of games haven't been coming out for it, so I've been hesitant to get it at all. Got a nice gotta catch 'em all achievement for that, by the way. And you can't really beat the quality of just it's a hard quality to define, I guess, but it's very easygoing. You know, like the music's very soft. The gameplay itself isn't violent or anything. It's just kind of easygoing, I guess, in a weird way. There's nothing too critical about what you're doing, and you know, you can do these missions really fast if you want, but it's got a very easy flowing feel to it, and you know, the scenery is very nice. I think the artwork is probably one of the best parts of this game, other than, you know, the gameplay is very nice, obviously. There's you know, your typical Mario unlock system, and the more value points you get, the more levels and worlds that you can unlock, which is always very neat. So right now I still have World 8 and 9 to get, and then it looks like after that I'll be able to get through another area over here. But yeah, as far as just overall gameplay, I love how easygoing it is, and it seems like it would make an amazing PS Vita game, so if you have the means, I definitely recommend checking it out on that as well. But give it up for the indie community, and as always, check out more of our Indie Spotlight videos on Full Nova Zero, as well as visit our website on fullnovazero.com. Thanks very much for checking this game out with me, guys, and I hope you all have a good one.